Hi everyone, welcome to Horti at Home Week 4 Land, Earth and Sea tutorial. A little bit different this week. For Father's Day we've designed a menu which is designed to go on the barbecue as well as cooked how we have every other week. Really simple. We start off as we always do, open the bag, get everything out of the bag. So open the bag up. First thing you come across, brown paper bag, that's got a sourdough flatbread in it. Then you have 4 little tubs. Have a tinfoil wrap with our skewers in it. Also, you will see in it there is the desserts. So we just want to pop those into the fridge for later on anyway. Next, you can see a piping bag with some hummus in it. 2 tin foil containers. And a brown paper box. So in the box you'll see there'll be a pork chop, some lentil salad, and you'll have pomegranate dressing, paprika dressing, and mojo, green mojo. So we're going to open the pork chop out first, get it draining on our J cloth. Kitchen roll, anything like that will do, just to take the moisture off it. The pork chop's already been cooked. It's been cooked at 62 degrees, so it is already cooked. We're just going to reheat and finish it on the barbecue. Next we're going to open 8.0. So 8.0 is our beef cheek. Very important as well, if you are celebrating Father's Day, to make sure if you're cooking your own Father's Day dinner to have a nice cold beer. And happy Father's Day. So in it, you'll see there's a little bag with some jelly-like stuff in it, and the beef cheek itself. We're going to pop the beef cheek straight onto the barbecue. So this has been cooked for 14 hours already. So again, it's just about getting it nice and charred and hot and warm. We don't actually have to cook it. I'm going to open up the other packet that's in the tin. We're going to get all of that into the tin foil, and we're going to put the tin foil straight on the barbecue. If you're doing this in the oven, then you can just do it straight in the oven exactly the same way. I'm going to put a little bit of water in there as well. So that's our sticky IPA glaze. 7.0 is the prawns. We're going to leave those for just now. We're going to get the pork chop onto the barbecue. Little sprinklers, some salt. Just pop that onto the barbecue for now. So then we're going to take our metal bowl and we're going to put the lentil salad into the metal bowl. So in here you've got chives, coriander, green lentils, shallot, tomato and pomegranate. Then you're going to find 4.2 in the dressings. That is pomegranate molasses dressing. I'm going to put that in there so you get it all out. A good pinch of on sea salt, or any sea salt's fine. Give it a good mix around. We'll just pop that to the side for now and come back to it. We want all that to marinate up together nicely. Then we're going to go, make sure while you're doing all this, you keep an eye on your pork chops and stuff like that. Turning your things. As you can see, all the liquids now melted down in the foil, and that's going to reduce down to be our sticky glaze. So, made a bit of room now. We'll put the skewers on. These have already been marinated up. It's been marinated for 2 days, so they should have loads and loads of flavour in there. Then a bit of table salt. I'm just going to put it on like so. Next we're going to take 1.5, oh sorry, 1.2. I'm going to open that up. And we're going to put that into our little ramekin bowl, whatever you got there, just to hold it for now. So this is a chili and paprika oil. Then we're going to take our other little ramekin and our first big plate. Snip the end off the hummus, which is 1.0. Ramekin. Give it a little tap so it flattens out. Again, we'll come back to that in a second. So I'm just with the pork bone, I'm just hanging the bone off the edge of the barbecue because you don't really want to get it all black and gnarly. Just keep moving everything around, turning it. So then we're going to grab the first of our small bowls. Now that this has been marinating for a little while, have a little taste of it, check the seasoning, see if it's right for you. A little touch more. And we're just going to put that into a bowl. Spread it around a touch. Next, what we're doing next is if you slice and got some charring on it like that, we're actually going to put it into the glaze, and we're just going to what we call nappe the glaze over it as it reduces. So just constantly like so. That's what will help it reduce down and get really nice and sticky all over the actual beef cheek itself. Just keep turning everything. Keeping an eye on it. Then we're going to open up 7.0. So in here you've got prawns in the butter. So just open up your prawns onto your draining tray before. Just pot stuff with it. Then you want to get a good bit of table salt onto the prawns. And you want to open the garlic and chili butter out and pop that into the foil container that the prawns came in. Just make sure you do take off all the cling film there. Again, we're going to look for that to melt that, let that melt down. That pork looks really good now. I'm just going to pull it off for a minute, let it rest. If you're cooking meat like that, if you let it rest and relax, it'll absorb all its juices back in. It'll stay more moist, more tender, more tasty. And I'm just going to pull the skewers off now because they look pretty tasty, pretty good. Pop them onto a large plate. If they get a little bit cold, you can always stick them back on for a minute. And then I'm just going to pop the prawns on. These prawns on my barbecue will take a few minutes, something like that. If you are a little bit unsure about the prawns, you can always just put them back into an oven, something like that, for a few minutes. If you are cooking them in the oven, you're probably from cold, probably looking at about 3 or 4, maybe 5, 6 minutes, depending on your oven. Just put them into the container with the butter, which you can see starting to melt down lovely there. Remember to keep putting the sauce over the beef. It'll start to reduce down and get a bit sticky soon. So now we're going to look at the little pots that we've got. I want you to open 1.1, which is the crispy chickpeas. Pop that onto your hummus there. You got 8.1. Again, those of you who've done this before know I don't actually have a microwave in my kitchen at all, but I would stick this in the microwave for maybe a minute and a half. You can have it cold if you wanted to. It would be nice like that as well, but if you want it warm, it's the sweet potato mash. So just imagine I've warmed it up. I'm going to take one of our bowls. I'm just going to put that into the centre of the plate like so. Always turn the prawns. When you think that it's nearly cooked, we're going to put them into the butter and just finish them in the garlic and chilli butter. We're then going to grab our next plate. I'm going to take number 9.2, which is your sweet corn salsa. We're going to stick that onto a plate. Just off centre slightly, I would go. Spread it out a touch. So those prawns are starting to look really well cooked now. So I'm going to pop them into the butter. .1 on the tubs. So 4.1 is just the garnish to go onto the lentil salad. Do that last minute so it stays nice and crunchy, because that's what it's there for, the texture. And we're going to take our pork. And what we're going to do is we're just going to carve along the bone like so. I'm going to pop that back onto the barbecue like that. I'm going to carve the pork. And we're just going to spread it out on top of the salsa. Take our final plate. And we're going to take the prawns off the barbecue. Be careful, the tin foil will be quite hot. Use a cloth, something like that. Just going to put them onto the plate. And then dress it all up with the butter. Open 9.1, which is the green mojo sauce, just to go on top of the pork chop. You want to just put that all over it. Put your pork bone back on like that. Prawns already there. Finally, take your flatbreads, open those out. We're going to stick those on for 30 seconds or so. Obviously, be careful if someone does have allergies, shellfish allergies and stuff like that. You'll have to use different parts of the grills and stuff like that. So now we're going to go with the beef cheek. I'm going to put that on top of the mash, and again we're going to take all that sauce, put all that sauce over it like that. Warm flatbreads, the hummus, there's the beef. Take the paprika dressing. We're going to put it over the skewers. Like I say, you can just stick them, flash them a little bit warm if you need to. A little bit onto the pork, and then the rest of it onto the prawns. There's your horticulture at home, week 4. earth, land and sea. You have, sorry, the hummus needs a little bit of the oil on as well, sorry. There we go. So you have hummus with flatbreads, you've got lentil salad with pomegranate, prawns with garlic and chili butter, sweet corn salsa, pork chop and green mojo, IPA sticky, beef cheek and vegetable and halloumi skewers.